You're with the Late Lunch on LMFM radio. My next guest today is from Navan, and she's a permanent makeup artist who has recently set up her own school, which is called the European Institute of Permanent Makeup. I'm delighted to welcome Elizabeth Oakes to the show. Elizabeth, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Sherry.
Do you always look this good, night, noon and morning, with permanent makeup?
Yes, indeed. Permanent makeup lasts for about 2 to 3 years. So once it's applied, it's there and it doesn't come off.
So that's it. The 2 years, when you get this job done, you don't have to think about makeup for 2 whole years.
That's right. Once it's applied, it goes into the dermal layer of the skin, and then it doesn't wash off. Like, you can swim, you can be active, or whatever it is that you like, and it's not going to come off or fade. The eyebrows would definitely be the most popular of all the procedures, because a lot of times when women have kids or go through the menopause, their eyebrows tend to fall out, and it's actually of great concern for a lot of women. And the eyebrows frame the whole face, so once you have the eyebrows applied, like, that's it. You don't have to worry about them washing off in the swimming pool or applying them every day or anything like that. And there's 2 ways in which the eyebrows can be put on. One is the hair strokes, which makes it look very soft and very natural and looks like hair. Or if someone has, let's say, partial eyebrows, they might opt for like a powder effect, which is a little bit more solid, but then again, they both look very natural.
Okay, so that's the eyebrows, and I'm going to go through your face as I look at you here today. So what about the eyelashes?
Yeah, the eyeliner is placed, it's the black line around the eye, which is placed in between the lashes and makes the lashes look fuller and thicker. A lot of people who have young kids or just live active lifestyles tend to like the eyeliner, because when they drop the kids to school and things like that, it means that they look awake.
And when you look at then your complexion and your face and that, you have a lovely, glowing, bright, healthy colour. And in Ireland, when we get weather and conditions like we do for, say, 4 or 5 months of the year in winter time, lack of sunlight, lack of maybe getting out, how do you introduce that colour, or how do you go about introducing a lovely, healthy colour to the face of a woman? Well,
the permanent makeup is really only works on the features, which is the eyebrows, the eyeliner and the lip liner. Because once your features are, let's say, enhanced, the rest is a pretty simple thing to do.
So do you work on the pigment? You mentioned pigmentation earlier on. Do you work on any of that in the...
Not on the general face, just the eyebrows, the eyeliner and the lip liner. And also areolar repigmentation, which is for if women or men have breast cancer. A lot of times the areola nipple isn't replaced, and with permanent makeup, through colour, we can create a 3-dimensional areola complex, which gives women back, or men, just the confidence, you know.
What about talk to me about the lips there. What happens, what work do you do there in a permanent basis?
Well, with the lips, it's a lip liner, and it can also be blushed into the skin, because as women age, they tend to lose the vermilion border of the lip. So with the permanent, we can give you back that line, which enhances the lips and makes them look fuller and thicker. And I'd say the colour, again, we can choose a very soft, natural colour, so that the people wouldn't know that you even had anything done.
And then you just top up or touch up each day, is that right?
Well, once you have it done, that's it. You don't need to reapply lipstick, you don't need to reapply eyeliner, you don't need to reapply eyebrows.
Blusher?
Yeah, you'll have to put your blusher on, alright.
I see, I knew that. Debbie's looking at me there thinking he won't know this one, so you have to do that anyway still, yeah. But that's only a small part of...
A small part, but yeah. But as I say, for people who've had cancer or alopecia, they really can benefit greatly from the eyebrows and the eyeliner. Because as I say, the eyebrows really do frame the whole face. If you're missing your eyebrows, it looks like there's something missing. So if, even if someone has no eyebrows, they can have permanent makeup. Or if people aren't happy with the symmetry of their eyebrows, permanent makeup can rectify that. Or if people have only partial eyebrows, we can add that extra bit.
You mentioned alopecia there, and people going through chemotherapy, cancer treatments, having surgery, things like that. it's tough enough, isn't it, to go through that, and then when you come out the other side, you really do strive to get back to what we call normality again.
Yes, that's right, and that's how the permanent makeup can, as I say, just from looking in the mirror, it can help, because once you have the eyebrows, you know, your face is pretty much ready.
It's different straight away, isn't it?
Yeah, it is different straight away.
And it gives a great confidence again quickly, doesn't it, to people? Because it's hard. It's hard after you go through anything like that to face life and society again, isn't it?
Exactly, yes. And that's why you find a lot of women have wigs maybe with fringes and things like that, is to cover the fact that they don't have the eyebrows. And like, if they're penciling it on every day, you know, the pencil comes away or wipes off when you sweat or whatever. So at least with this, like, once they're on, you know they're going to be there and they're not going to come off.
So you're available to help people who are in those circumstances to sort this out straight away, more or less, for them?
Yes, that's right. A procedure takes roughly about 45 minutes to an hour. And once you have the procedure done, the area will look a little bit dark, more intense, for about 5 to 7 days. Now, usually nobody would notice this darkness, just yourself, but once it goes through a process where it heals, peels and fades after the 5 to 7 days, it then becomes very soft, very natural.
So it just sits in and suits then at that. And naturally, when you get it done first, it just finds its own level of colour and the way it comes across to you at that stage.
That's right.
How did you get into this business in the first place?
Well, this is a funny story, Terry. I was a funeral director and embalmer for a few years, and I decided to go to America to get a degree in mortuary science. And then when I was over there, we had a swimming pool in college, and I used to swim every day. And my sister had shaved my eyebrows off, and they'd never grown back properly. So every day after I'd swim, before I go to class, I was penciling on the eyebrows. And then just by chance, one day, in my reconstructive class, my teacher, who was blind as a bat, was coming in every day and had her makeup was perfect. So I said, I'm going to ask her, how does she do this? So I waited after class and I said, Miss Becker, like, how do you get your makeup so perfect every day? And she said, why, Liz, that's permanent makeup. So I went home and I Googled it, and I found there was a school only about 20 minutes from where I lived in California. And I actually then went and was a guinea pig for students to work on. And I had the permanent makeup done, and I just remember feeling so good about myself after having it done, and it made such a difference that I said, oh my God, this is what I want to do. And because in the mortuary science degree we had to do hair and makeup, I had enough credits or experience to go and do the permanent makeup course then.
Isn't that amazing, the way your life shifted and changed?
Absolutely.
It's incredible. The more people I meet here, I see that Charlie Leonard was with us a while ago and the same happened with him, and you in similar fashion as well. Your sister shaved your eyebrows off. I want to come back to that one. What was that about? Was that voluntary always?
I'd say it was boldness.
Was it?
Yes.
Have you spoken to her since?
Oh, I have, of course. Only for her, I wouldn't.
Well, there you are. Isn't that so true?
Yes.
Only for that. You probably felt as mad as a hatter at the time, but there you go. You've a new career because of it. So you undertook that course over there, and did you finish the original course you went over to do?
I did. I have a degree in mortuary science, and I have a degree in business.
A degree in mortuary science. Now, there's not many people has that, is there, in this country?
No, I think I'm the only person in Ireland that has a degree in mortuary science. It's like a 3-year degree course, which is pretty intensive. But it was a great experience and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I found when I came back to Ireland, it's a very male-dominated industry, and I was very young at the time. I was 21, and it was very difficult to be taken serious within that role, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, I suppose, gave me the opportunity then to set up the Wake Up with Makeup, which is my own company that does the permanent makeup.
And you also spent time on Harley Street in London, is that right? I want to say that again, Harley Street.
That's right. I hold clinics all over Ireland and also England, and I have a clinic in Harley Street that I work out of also.
God, that is prestigious, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Now, you work all around the country here as well in different venues, is that right?
That's right. I have about 110 salons that I hold clinics in all over Ireland. So I have a lot of clinics in Dublin, and there's Cork, Galway, Limerick, everywhere. There's 110 all over. So most of the time I'm in Dublin on a day-to-day, and then every maybe 3 to 4 weeks I do a trip around the country and visit all the other salons.
Now, what's the idea behind this school that you've set up? What's going on?
Well, I've set up a school called the European Institute of Permanent Makeup, in which now, because there's not very many people do permanent makeup in Ireland, I'd be the largest supplier here. I think it's good to give back and to teach people how to do what I do. So the school is set up in Swords, which is very close to the airport. It's called the European Institute of Permanent Makeup. And in order to become a student, you don't have to have any previous qualifications. So anyone can do the course. And yeah, it's just a way that, there's more work out there for just me.
So that's interesting, because if somebody's thinking about a new opportunity or looking to take off in some different direction, you see an opportunity here that there is work out there and more possibilities for people to join you in the area of expertise.
That's correct, yes. And even I think if you're going abroad, let's say I was going to Australia, you could do this course, and when you land in Australia, you have the opportunity for your own business straight away.
How long will the course take? What's involved?
The course isn't very long. It's ran over 4 to 6 days, depending on how many people are in the class. So once you have your course done and you get your certificate, it's recognised worldwide, and you can work straight away.
And where would you associate? You mentioned salons and that you work with. Is that beauty salons you're talking about?
Beauty salons, hair salons, cosmetic surgery clinics, and then my own clinics, yes.
So this is an opportunity for maybe somebody listening today or friends of somebody listening today to take up something brand new and go for it. You mentioned that you went to the States with one aim and you came back with a totally different. Would you ever see yourself going back to the other business?
To the embalming?
Yes.
Well, I never say never.
No, I suppose, and that's a good way
never.
to be, yeah. You have that in your back pocket, so to speak.
Absolutely, and I always keep very current in it, and I go to all the meetings and I do talks on embalming and things like that still. So, because I suppose it was my first passion, and I did it from when I was left school till I was 21. So, yeah, I'd never say never.
It's an eerie type of business, isn't it, when you mention embalming and that and dealing with the dead. An awful lot of people listening will probably say, my word, she's a brave woman. It takes a lot of spunk really to work in that type of area. Did you ever find that when you were working at it, or did you just take it as a job and something you were very interested in?
The way I look at the embalming is, let's say if I was to get ready to go to a party tonight, it would take me 2 hours by the time I shower, do my makeup and hair and everything like that. So therefore, when somebody comes into my care as an embalmer, I always give them that time.
Yeah.
And I would never let anyone go to be viewed until I was 100% happy that they were ready. I always think of it as a big party up in the sky, and until they're ready for that big party, I won't let them go.
It's a good way to look at it. And of course, to relatives and friends and close ones and family and that, it's very important that somebody, when they pass on, does look as well as possible.
Absolutely, because it gives great closure. When they see that person looking really well, it's really, really important. And it can help so much with the grieving process in the long run, and that's why I just, it's such a responsible job. And as I say, unless I was 100% happy with everything, I wouldn't let them go.
Anyway, permanent makeup it is. So just a question, how long, if I go to you for a permanent makeup treatment, how long does a session take?
45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour you'd want to give yourself.
Yeah, and you have it's all done then at that stage. And a follow-up, is there a follow-up? You mentioned 2 years, but do you need a follow-up in the interim?
Yes, what I recommend is, when you come to me and have your initial treatment, it takes 45 minutes to an hour. During that treatment, let's say it's eyebrows, eyeliner or lip liner, I draw the eyebrows on with a pencil, and that is the consultation. And once we're both 100% happy with the shape, the height, the symmetry, basically the procedure only takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and I trace over exactly what's drawn. So you know what you're going to get before you have it done. But as I say, initially it's quite dark regardless if we use the light colour or not. So then I recommend that after 1 month, kind of within 3 months, it's a good idea to come back and have a touch-up. Because not only do you get used to looking at it, people get used to seeing it, and because it's faded maybe so much, then you might decide, do you know something, Liz? I think I want it darker, I want it a bit thicker, I want this eyebrow a bit longer, or whatever the case may be. And it's great then on the touch-up we can do that, whereas you couldn't do it all on the first go.
No, that's just eyebrows, but would you do the eyes, would you do the eyebrows, the eyes
eyeliner
themselves and the lips? Would you do that all in one session?
You could. I recommend you probably just have 2, because as I say, it is quite like, it's very similar to a tattoo. The pigment is implanted under the skin with a needle. So, like, if you have the eyebrows and the eyeliner, or the eyebrows and the lip liner, you know, I think it's enough for one day. And people always say, is it painful? Like, there is a little bit of uncomfort, but it's not, like, excruciating or anything. There's topical anaesthetics used, so that it's, like, minimal pain.
You won't feel much pain?
No, not at all.
And in terms of an allergy, if you had an allergy or anything to makeup or that, do you ask people this before you begin?
Yes. All the pigments that I use are medical grade and they're hypoallergenic. If I've never, in the 10 years that I'm doing permanent makeup, I've never had anybody that was allergic. It's basically never really happens. But if someone was allergic to everything, I would say have a patch test done first. But as I say, I've never had anyone that had any sort of reactions, thank God.
Well, I just want to say you're a fine ad for permanent makeup. We'll have to get an old picture for the website and Facebook before you leave, so as people see what I'm talking about this afternoon. And if anyone is interested out there in a consultation with Liz with regards to having permanent makeup applied, she can arrange to meet you in one of our clinics anywhere around the country, and she's given a free touch-up worth €180. Woo, that's great for the start of a new year. That's in your pocket. All you have to do is mention me, Jerry Kelly, man badly in need of a permanent makeup, and call her on 086 843 4825, and we'll leave those details at our main number, 1850 715 958. Elizabeth Oakes, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. The best of luck with the new school and your work. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Thank you.